Hi, welcome to my kitchen, welcome to my cucina. So as we mature, our body changes. So as I'm maturing, I'm going to speak for myself, my cholesterol level has gone maybe up a little bit. And the doctor wants me to try to lower it with change in diet. So I found this recipe that's great for reducing cholesterol, and it has fiber and all other good things in it. And it's basically a lentil, black bean, and kale casserole. And it's baked with some low-fat cheddar cheese on top. So let's get started. It's really easy. It might be a little bit of labor intensive, but it's not hard at all to make. And the best thing is that you can make it the day before, because like lasagna, it tastes better as the days go by. So we have our kale. You need 4 cups of kale. So I've already started to I've taken some kale off the stalks, and it's very easy to take the kale off. You're just going to grab your knife and just go down the stalk, and there you go. You have your kale leaves, and there's no need to massage it. Like if you're going to make a kale salad, the recipes all say you have to massage the kale, because I guess the kale can be a little bit tough, but this is going to be cooked and baked, so it's going to be really nice and tender. So we're just going to chop it a little bit, random chops, doesn't have to be precise, just like that, because once you put it in the skillet, it'll wither down, just like when you cook spinach. You know how you cook spinach, you put a whole bunch in, and then by the time you finish, it's like a handful. So it's exactly like that. Okay, I think we're good. I'm just gonna put this in the bowl right here because I have to chop some garlic. So this recipe also calls for, actually calls for 4 cloves of garlic, but my garlic cloves are so big that I'm only going to use 3. Look how beautiful that is. I got this at a market. This time of the year, markets are everywhere. I went to the St. Jacob's market with my niece and her husband, and I bought this garlic there. It was so lovely. It was really, really fresh. So I let it dry out a bit. And this is the way I peel it. I just bang on it a bit, and as you can see, the peel just comes right off. That's 2. We'll get another one. And I store my garlic in the fridge. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that. Sometimes I read you shouldn't, but I store mine in the fridge in a little bowl, and it seems to work out. It's quite nice. Okay, and now we're going to chop it up. And you know the trick to remove the garlic scent from your fingers? So simple. You get your knife, go over to the sink, run the water, and you run the water over the blade of your knife. And what you do is you just rub your fingers over the blade under the water, and the garlic smell will go. Something really simple. They actually, in some stores, I've seen stainless steel soap stones, which is specifically for that. All right, we've got our garlic going, and I think we're almost ready to start sauteing. We're going to be sauteing the onions and the garlic together. And I'm going to share something with you that I found really helpful. So in a lot of recipes, they'll ask you to turn the heat on to maybe a medium, and just to heat the oil. Well, I find that when I do that and then I add the onions or garlic or whatever I'm sauteing, it quickly starts to brown, and I don't want that. I want it to cook a little bit and then brown. So what I do is I start with a cold skillet. I'm gonna add my olive oil. So it asks for a tablespoon of olive oil. So the fat content in this is really low. And always go with good extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to put in my onions, like that. And my garlic. Hopefully I won't get any on the floor. You don't want sticky garlic on the floor. But in a kitchen, if you're working in your kitchen, your floor gets dirty. That's okay. All right. We're going to start up the burner. Here we go. Love cooking with gas. And we're going to start to saute it. So it's 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic, and you're going to saute this for about 5 minutes. And once you start to see that the onion and the garlic, especially the onion, has released some juice, and you can see that it's translucent and soft, then you can start adding your other ingredients. So we're smooshing around the garlic and the onion, and yeah, it's slowly going to cook very nicely. Once we've done that, we're going to add diced tomatoes, and you need 1 can of diced tomatoes, a 28-ounce can, so it's the bigger can. We're going to add the tomatoes, and then we're going to add the kale that we chopped up. And on top of that, we're going to season it with a Cajun seasoning. Now, if you don't have Cajun seasoning, all you have to do is, well, if you have these ingredients at home, you can make your own. It's 2 teaspoons each, and I'll tell you, each of cumin, chili powder, dried basil, dried oregano, dried mustard, paprika, dried thyme, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and salt. And you mix it all up, and it'll stay in your fridge for about 6 months, and you always have that on hand. So that's what I did. I had all those ingredients at home, and I made my own Cajun seasoning. And that we're going to add on top of the tomatoes and the kale. This is a delicious dish. And oh, and to make it extra easy for you, so this skillet can go right in the oven. If you have one that can go right in the oven, use it. You can make your dish here and pop it in the oven, because the last thing we're going to add is the low-fat cheddar cheese, and then you put your pan in the oven for about 20 minutes at 375, or when the whole dish is bubbly and the cheese is melted, and you could serve it right out of there. So it's a family style meal, and we like that around here. If you're bringing it somewhere, if you're bringing it as part of, you know, barbecue or something like that, you can always use one of your nice dishes, like I like to do, or you can actually put it in one of those aluminum trays. Easy cleanup, because you just throw that out. You know how I like to, at the end of my video, I always like to share a quote that I found, but I might just say it now while this is cooking. I'm talking about manifesting. When you have a dream or something that's going around in your mind, something that you want to do and you want to manifest it, manifestation is real. Start speaking positivity in your life. Change the way you think, and change the way you live and speak. Mostly change the way you speak. Positive thinking, positive self-talk. That's always what I used to tell the students when I was working. So there you go, my manifestation quote for today. Okay, I'm going to start adding the tomatoes and the kale. There we go. This is 1 can of diced tomatoes. Okay. We're going to add the kale. And the seasonings and the salt on top. And we're going to carefully mix that all together. And you'll see it doesn't take much time for the kale to wilt. Okay, as you can see, the kale is starting to wilt nicely. We'll wait a couple more minutes, and then we're going to add the black beans. So the black beans, you need 1 can. So you use a cup of dried lentils and you boil them for about 20 minutes. Sometimes I cut it short to 15 because they're gonna go in the oven anyway. So they'll finish cooking in the oven. So dried lentils, boil them, 1 cup for about 15-20 minutes, and you're set to go. I know if my daughters are watching this, they're probably wondering who's gonna get the dish. Don't worry, I made one yesterday, so you're both getting one. All right, now we're going to add our black beans that have been rinsed from a can. And we're going to add our lentils that have been boiled, dry lentils. Okay. And give that a nice stir. Once it's all mixed, we're going to sprinkle that cheese on top, and then it's going in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes. Turn off the burner. We're going to sprinkle, so it's grated, low fat or light cheddar cheese. And sometimes I make it with no cheese at all on top, and it still tastes great. But I thought for an extra treat, I'm gonna put the cheese on top. Okay, this is gonna go into a 375 oven. I'm going to put it in, whoops. Just like that for 20 minutes. And guess what? I have one ready for you. And here we go. This is what it's going to look like. It'll come out of your oven bubbling. This has just been warming up, so I'm hoping it's warm enough for me to taste. Even room temperature, it tastes really good. So here we go. You just scoop it up, and you can see, okay, you can see the lentils, the black beans, the diced tomatoes, the kale. Here's the kale, and the nice cheese on top. So we'll give it a go. Let's see, I want to get some of the tomato, I want to get some of the cheese. Really good. So good for you. All the flavors of those spices come out as well. And it's a great dish to make. So I hope you try it. Easy ingredients, easy steps. It's good for you, good for your heart, good for your cholesterol. And we'll see you next month. Ciao for now. Tante belle cose.